Good morning. Welcome. Happy Mother's Day. We're glad you're here. If this is your first time here, there's a welcome packet back there on the wall. It's blue, or you can go to the welcome desk and they'll give you one. And if you'd like a tour of our grounds today, please see one of us. We'll be up at the front here and we'll take you around and show you. We have beautiful, beautiful grounds. And now I'd like to open with a song by Holly Day, one of my favorites.
When you search my eyes, you'll see my soul. When we share a smile, well, God's love is shown. When I seek your light, I find my home. When I search for strength in the hand I hold, well, that's me holding up heaven to you. That's me holding up heaven to you. That's me holding up heaven to you. With all my heart, I see you. If you want to sing with me on this part, I would love it. When I search your light, when I search your light, I find my home. I find my home. When I feel your love, when I feel your love, I know I'm home. When I search your eyes, when I search your eyes, I see your soul. When we share a smile, God's grace is known. That's me holding up heaven to you. That's me holding up heaven to you. That's me holding up heaven to you. With all my heart, with all my heart, I see you. Where there is a love, there is no fear. There is no fear. With all my strength, well, I'll hold you here. With all my strength, I'll hold you here. That's me holding up, oh, heaven to you. That's me holding up heaven to you. That's me holding up heaven to you. With all my heart, with all my heart, I see you. I see you. I see you.
So we want to thank you for coming to the center today, where we inspire and empower people to live spiritually fulfilling lives. The practitioners in service today will be available to do prayer with you here by the bell after the service is over. Right now, if you would please turn to the camera and wave and say hello to your neighbor. We'd like to thank all the other Savites who were here early today to help make the service possible. We could not do these services without them. Right now, if you haven't already done so, please silence your cell phones. And now I'm going to invite Diana Wolfstead up to give us an update on the rummage sale and the plant sale.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Mother's Day, moms. If the first thing is the plant sale, if you need a little Mother's Day gift, we've moved the remainder of the plants right outside the glass windows along there. They're half off, or they're for love offering, or they're free if you want them. We just need to have them go home to a good place today. So come on out there. I'll be out there after service. And for the rummage sale, I got to tell you, I'm feeling a little weepy. I'm feeling just so deeply grateful and humble to have witnessed a community of loving individuals come together with a common task to raise money for this center. It was a sight to behold over the last week. Started last Sunday, and it was 10 hours a day, right on through to yesterday, which even was more than that. So it was the attention to all the details, the many, many, many tasks. I mean, the advertisers, the pricers, the jewelry girls putting together the collectible area, the guys that were loading and hauling and delivering and putting up tables and taking down tables and moving tables, and all of us trying to make the public as happy as can be and working together with love, with not necessarily without difficulty sometimes, because you have a conversation and you come up with a plan and everybody listens to the idea and you put the plan in place, and then the plan gets implemented, and then it changes, and then it changes again. And we did it, and we did it with love. So if you donated, we appreciate all the precious goods that you put back into recirculation. And the sale was a huge success. We grossed well over $9,000. Yeah. So we do have to pay California sales tax on that, but I still think that we're going to come in right around 9, and our goal was 5. So, woohoo! Yeah.
And on to our other announcements. Today, Holly will have a concert after the service here in the sanctuary. It will start at noon. Diana already mentioned the plant sale. Tomorrow, we have the Project Homeless Connect at the Civic Auditorium. We are looking for Savites to help us distribute the shoes in 2-hour shifts. I believe there's a sign-up sheet out in the foyer. If not, you can just come and see me in the office to sign up. And we're also, I believe, distributing pet food for the homeless, I think. Also tomorrow in the evening, the women's and the men's groups are meeting. Women's group will be in the social hall. Men's group will be here in the sanctuary. They both meet at 7 o'clock. The women's group is with Reverend Sue and with Jenny, and they are using a book called Diana Herself by Martha Beck. On Thursday the 14th is the Peace Lantern Processional led by Reverend Lynn Fritz at the Sundial Bridge starting at 8 p.m. And I know Susan will be participating in that for the center. So it's a beautiful ceremony and I encourage you to attend if you can. Christine Stewart is offering Foundations of Healing Touch, Course 1, here this coming weekend, May 15th and 16th. It will be in the Meditation Pavilion from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you can sign up today. Our SOAR group is meeting on May 16th, and they will be visiting Bernie Falls and Subway Cave. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to Cher Matthews. And then we have, also on the 16th, we have Shasta County's klezmer ensemble. I do have to read this part. Shana Nashama doing a spring concert, and they are doing this as a benefit for the center to raise funds to help with our flooring restoration efforts. And then we do have a special congregational meeting next Sunday, May 17th, after the service here in the sanctuary to vote whether or not to accept Reverend Lisa Carson as our new senior minister. Please note that only members are eligible to vote for that. If you're unable to attend, please make sure you fill out an absentee ballot. They are on the board desk back there where Rich is at. And flooring installation begins next Sunday, May 17th, after the service. And we need all the help we can get. It's truly an all hands on deck situation because we're starting here in the sanctuary. So everything here in the sanctuary has to get moved so that that space is available for the flooring people to come in. And also the two side rooms, that one and that one, I believe, are also going to be emptied out. So those are all of our announcements. And now I am moving on to today's reading. And what was chosen by Reverend Sue is called What Would Indigenous Grandmother Do? By Maya Spector. I don't want to change my thoughts. I want to change the way I think. I want to think in images, in stories, spun as threads arriving long and slow, out of culture, out of grandmother spider, out of indigenous mind. I want to learn to live in the old ways, the way of spirit. I want to see signs and the deep, precise wisdom of the true ones, ancestors, elders, any and all, trying to inform us that there is a way. There is a way to heal. There is a way to see. There is a way to change direction. There is a way to give the children what they need to be safe, to be listening, to be healthy, to be whole. I too want to be whole, all the way into death. And yes, I'll say it, beyond death. Beyond is but not beyond the cycle of being, the ring, the hoop of being together. This is the place where love remains, where love sustains, where love comes into and through all things. Love is spirit flowing into the life of the world. Knowing this, I am left with one question. What would an indigenous grandmother do?
Let's take a moment and still our minds and just let everything from up till now wither away and join with me in knowing. Infinite Spirit, loving presence, mothering energy of the universe. We gather today in gratitude and love. We recognize the sacred expressions of nurturing, compassion, strength, and wisdom that flows through our whole life. On this Mother's Day, we honor the many ways love has cared for us, guided us, lifted us, and reminded of our worth. So as we begin this sacred service, we open ourselves to peace and renew. We release anything that weighs heavy on the heart and allows ourselves to rest in the presence of love. We affirm that healing is here, joy is here, and hope is alive within every soul gathered here today. May this time together remind us that we are cherished, connected, and never alone. We leave here inspired to bring compassion into the world and to honor the sacred gift of love wherever we find it. And I am so grateful for this gathering, this beautiful day, this beautiful service. I release this into the universe knowing it to be so right now, and so it is. Reverend Sue.
Good morning. Good to see you. Surprised to see some of you. Those that were working so hard all week. But here we are. We are still standing. That's the name of the last talk. I should have put that one today for this month. We're talking about faith this month. And I'm weaving together some information that is beautiful to share about the Divine Mother, one of my favorite teachings that came more into my awareness from my study of yoga since I was so young. But before I go there, I thought I'd share some little tidbits about Mother's Day traditions that you might not know. And I've shared one of these before, but I didn't realize this, that Mother's Day was once an anti-war movement. Who knew that one? No one? Anti-war movement. It was created, we thought, as a simple way to appreciate moms. But at the time it was originated, it was far more political. The holiday was championed by Julia Howe, an activist who actually wrote the Battle Hymn of the Republic. And it was in 1870 that she proposed Mother's Day for Peace as a protest against war, urging mothers to come together and promote peace. While her version didn't take off, it laid the foundation of the Mother's Day that we know today. So the founder of Mother's Day later, Anne Jarvis, which I've talked about before, and this part I didn't know, after she started it, she tried to abolish it. That's something. And because it was in 1914, she was horrified that it became so commercialized. Now, some of you might have that same sentiment, but she said florists, card companies, and retailers turned it into a money-making event. And she never, ever had dreamed that that would be the intention that unfolded. So she even filed lawsuits to try to stop it. Oh, I just think that's funny. But ultimately, Mother's Day has generated millions in the economy. They consider it one of the major economic events of the year, and it's over $30 billion on gifts, flowers, and meals for moms. Anywhere from the jewelry, spa treatments, and dining out, but the florist in particular, their sales surge. Now, here's one that we might want to bring back. This one's from Yugoslavia. The kids used to tie up their moms. That's the strangest Mother's Day tradition. It came from Yugoslavia, the former Yugoslavia. In the past, they would sneak into their mother's bedroom in the morning and tie her up. She wasn't released until she promised to give them treats or gifts. While this quirky practice has faded, it certainly is one of the most unusual ways to celebrate motherhood. So I thought I have some twine, so we can just wrap up a few mothers today. And then here's a real mind blower. The most prolific mother in history had 69 children. Ouch. 69 children. That was the record of the most children born to one woman. It goes to a Russian peasant named Valentina, I can't say her last name, who lived in the 1700s. She gave birth, here it is, 16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, 4 sets of quadruplets. It seems unbelievable, but there's historical records that prove it. And then a real sweet knowing that animal moms can be just as amazing as human moms. Animals have this incredible ability. Elephants, for example, have some of the most devoted mothers. They carry their babies for nearly 22 months, ouch, before birth, and stay by their sides for years. I think I'm an elephant mom. I just want to stay by my kids for years. And then the orangutan mom. This one's kind of creepy. They nurse their young for up to 8 years. No, thank you. But here at CSLR, we simply place our hand on our heart and say, Happy Mother's Day. So that was just a little bit of information that I knew you needed before you left here today. The topic title today is Mother May I. And I start off with there's a beautiful mantra, Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Mother, Om Mother. And another one, Jai Ma, victory to the mother. So Om Mata, Jai Ma. I start there because I'm going to end there. And it is to be considered that at 3 years old, you hear, Mommy, I love you. At 10 years old, you hear, Mom, whatever. At 16, Mom, you are so annoying. At 18, Mom, I'm leaving this house. Now this reference says at 25 years, it said, Mom, you're right. And I don't think quite that young. I'm hearing it a little bit now as my kids are in the 40s. What I'm hearing from them at 25, Mom, I know how to feed myself. I know how to get my own food, Mom. That's my son. At 50 years, and I agree, I remember this, I don't want to lose you, Mom. I don't want to lose you, Mom. At 70 years, I would give anything to have my mom here. Whew. Mom. But it's a day of reflection for all of us, to appreciate our roots, to think about that, to remember the good times that we had, because I know we all have our stories. I've heard so many of them as we've shared our time together. And some have great memories, I understand that, and others cringe at the mere mention of some of their challenging moments they had by growing up with their mother. But with the good and with the bad, and through those experiences, they were our mothers. And those mothers shaped us. They live in us. John O'Donohue is one of my favorite poets, and he writes a poem for a mother. And I took the liberty to kind of move his phraseology around just a little bit, because there's a couple of stanzas in his long poem that really touched me, and I share just this, because this is in consideration of a new mother. So think about our moms at that moment when they had first given birth, and that this could be happening as the newborn whispers to the mother in consciousness, "Mother, you know us, you know me. Formed from the depths beneath your heart, you know me from the inside out. You nurtured and fostered this space to root all of our quietly gathering intensity that would grow nowhere else. Your young eyes, Mother, gazing on me, was the first mirror I glimpsed what it would mean to be seen." So just those few phrases, I can imagine how perfect that holy truth is. That I believe the soul nature of every mother knew this, felt this, maybe couldn't express it out of her own fear, her own awkwardness. But I think giving birth to a child, to a baby, is where the humanity meets the divinity. And what became of our birth and those initial moments with our mother, that level of intimacy, those precious hours indeed shaped us. And then I was reading, there's a minister that had quite a heartbreak in the last few years, and she posted something on Facebook, and I thought it was relevant for us today, because I hope that we leave here today with a sense of respect for Mother itself. Healing is when you stop telling the story that broke you and start living the story that rebuilt you. That's what we're all about here. Reshaping, renaming our stories. Now that credit goes to Anonymous, a great writer. But may we be so bold to finally today lay down a story of an unskillful mom, a selfish mom, a wicked mom, a mean mom, a distant mom, a weak mom, whatever that adjective might be, and return to the idea holding the mother as innocent. The mother energy within us that doesn't know what it's doing. I remember many moments like that. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew enough. I knew enough to let love lead my way. And so this, I know, is what the great Divine Mother is also forever doing, this Divine Mother principle, this divine grace. Cole Riley, he wrote a book, This Here Flesh. He says, maybe God knows the paths we've walked, but there is glory and healing in watching it fall from our own lips, in our own words. We must relearn to embody a holy story exchange. I love that about our philosophy, because that's something that we can have the privilege to do, to allow our stories to be shaped in such a way that people feel like they just read a Reader's Digest story by talking to us. They felt better. So to help you reframe your story, I'm bringing you 4 common types of mothers that we're going to kind of look deeply into today. Maybe your mother had one or more of these tendencies. And again, maybe it's time we released our mother from a mother role that we thought was the only way to be a mom, that perfect mom, that Leave It to Beaver mom, Dennis the Menace mom, all of the family mom. And then I thought, oh, I'm really aging myself. What's a current one? What's a current one? What's a current one? Modern Family is as far back as I could go. And I know there's lots of shows on right now about current day mothers. But in other words, that role model mom. But here's some of the types. And one type we recognize is the authoritarian mother. She found great comfort in routine, and her rules were set in stone. You as a child were expected to stay with the rules and not complain, never complain. The rules were never up for discussion. They made no sense to you. If you resisted, then, well, discipline was called for. Not in a conversation or a dialogue, but as a directive, these things came. So you can remember, maybe you heard things, if you don't finish your meal, you can't fill in the blank. Well, when I was considering that one, I thought, well, that might explain a lot of the weight issues for a lot of us. You know, we're always trying to finish our food. But you get it. It's that controlling, and unfortunately, that kind of controlling led to rebelliousness. The tendencies from the child to just want to break free of that. They wanted to break the rules. So there was really ultimately no respect on either side. The rules were never up for a debate and never really explained. So the remedy here is to learn to explain and compromise and simply listen to one another. The next is the ambitious mom. Now here, this mom dreams big for you. On your behalf, she is shaping what she thinks is your destiny. Music lessons, dance lessons, soccer, art, all the things that she quietly dreamed for herself, she seeds you with her longings. I can feel Lindy back there. I thought you wanted to do ballet. I thought you wanted to do piano. I thought you wanted to sing. I'm explaining myself as I'm thinking of these things. And I really related. I mean, I'm so proud of Lindy's voice. I love her so much. And she could sing like a rose from Bette Midler, like no other person in this whole world. Even Bette Midler can't do it as good as Lindy. Until we listened to it years later. And we went, yeah, well, some tweaking to do there. I digress. So, but every moment of maybe a child's mother was like that, and for you, it was your life was just filled with the next car ride to the next lesson. You never had any downtime. You never felt free. You rarely felt, and also, unfortunately, perhaps you never felt really good at any of the things that you were driving yourself to. Because you felt like it was intending for you to be perfect. You had to be good at whatever that next lesson was. But silently, you just wanted to ride your bike or watch cartoons or play with your friends. But shifting this, if you wanted to shift this, you learned to step back and notice what you were drawn to. Notice what you're drawn to now. And champion that. And if you're still in child raising, ask the child, what do they want to do? And ask yourself again today really, what do you want to be good at? And go for it. Now, the empathetic mother is one I'm sensitive to. Forever concerned about your feelings. This mom really wants to connect with you and be able to name your feelings, welcome them, even if they're painful. She wants to understand you, and she wants the ability for you both to understand each other by sharing this connection. It's not about control. Of course, as this builds, this practice, this kind of mothering builds empathy in the child learns how to relate to others. And society definitely needs more of this empathy. And the ability to put our feelings into words is an art of understanding that we can appreciate. Why does this feel this way? Why am I reacting this way? So the child grows to be a very grounded and understanding an individual, recognizing that feelings of others and themselves is important. But we have to be careful so we're not swallowed up by empathy. and lose our boundaries, because then maybe we're so afraid we're going to hurt somebody's feelings, we're paralyzed. So it's an art of balance. And then finally, the permissive mother. Oh, sweet child, you want happiness here. It's all for you at any cost. This child deserves to be heard and feel happy. And if the child's emotions are derailed and they start to run you, you're immediately softened. There are loose boundaries because you want to be close to this precious child. You want to be loved by this child. And saying no feels so cruel. I think I'm a permissive grandma. You might say no, and if the child cries, oh yes, I meant yes. Rules mean nothing. You want to be that forever friend. You want to make everyone happy. Good luck with that. We start producing insecure offspring. The innocent outcome here is the person grows up themselves unsure what to decide. They grow up without any boundary or any solid rule, and they might even be a troublemaker, but they're not really, they're just confused. They don't know limits, they don't know boundaries, so they can't see when they've crossed into someone else's lane. They don't understand that. So as we mature, we struggle to tame these behaviors because we have no clue what our own limits are. Now, a lot of that came from a blog called Frigg, F-R-I-G-G. And I found myself, and I maybe you as well, reflected on your own mother. And if you are a mother yourself, you reflected on your own mothering. Which of those types live in you? And you might even be a mother to a pet. What kind of mother are you to that pet? The very permissive one? Sally? All right. Not pointing you out, but just have some self-reflection here, and then let's return to the Divine Mother. Because what I appreciate about the Divine Mother, she lives and breathes always within us, as us, through us. And she really is the truest model of the divine feminine aspect of our nature, male and female here. The divine feminine is not just for the woman. This divine feminine is our creative energy. Think about it in your own selves here, every one of you. Our power, our energy, and nurturing, all with love. So she is Mother Nature. In Hinduism, she is the formless consciousness, Brahman, and manifest energy, Shakti. She is also manifesting as Durga, as power, Lakshmi, as wealth and harmony, Saraswati, as knowledge, and my favorite, Kali, the fierce protection of a mother. Don't mess with a mother, right? All the powerful feminine deities, all of these represent qualities that live inside of us. They're all expressions of the Mother with a capital M, the divine feminine we embrace. We embrace because this is a way to personalize our relationship with God, unconditional love and compassion. So today's message is Mother May I. And I'm going to invite Judy up to play the piano here a little bit, because as I prepare you for this, as we get close and recall our own roots of childhood, perhaps maybe you've played this game in school days or with your friends. It was a game, though, that helped tame a child's impulsive nature to want to move forward and win. Yet, as a child, we were taught with this game, we needed to listen to the directions and use our self-control to succeed. It's true today. So we're closing with this. And I invite it to be a chain of prayer as Judy plays the piano behind it. I'm going to take the privilege to speak as Divine Mother, inviting you into this prayer together. And at the end of the phrases, I will invite you to respond and you will understand. All you need to know to say is, Mother, may I? And then I will respond back. But listen deeply. Feel what you're responding to today as you engage, as we all engage in prayer together, because we're engaging here in the practice of loving kindness. And as we begin, I invite you just to settle into the idea of prayer. And this from Clare of Assisi. This comes from the 1100s. She says, place your mind before the mirror of eternity. Place your soul in the brilliance of glory. Place your heart in the figure of the divine substance. And through contemplation, allow your entire being to be transformed into the image of the Godhead itself, so that you may taste the hidden sweetness that God has reserved for his lovers. So we begin. May I be free from danger. May I have mental happiness. May I have physical happiness. May I have ease of well-being. You all say, yes, you may. May I feel protected and safe. May I feel content and pleased. May my physical body provide me with strength. May my life unfold smoothly with ease. Yes, you may. May I and all beings be filled with loving kindness. May I and all beings be safe from inner and outer danger. May I and all beings be well in body and mind. May I and all beings be happy and free. Yes, you may. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be held in loving kindness. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be happy. May I touch great and natural peace. May I know the natural joy of being alive. May my heart and mind awaken. May I be free. Yes, you may. A little bit of a longer one as we go deeper. May I let go of anger and live without conflict. May my body be healthy and free from pain. May my mind be calm and free from distress. May I be protected from harm, and may peace fill my body and heart. Yes, you may. May all beings release anger and live in harmony. May all beings be free from illness and suffering. May all beings be free from worry and mental pain. May all beings be safe, and may peace rest within their bodies and minds. Yes, you may. So we breathe. We breathe into the knowing that whatever we ask of the Divine Mother, when we ask with a sense of humility and pure intention and raw honesty, may it be so. May it always be so. that we are directed in life, led by love, filled with loving kindness, acting with compassion and empathy towards all beings. May the world hear our prayer today. May those in the Ukraine and in Iran, may they hear our prayer. May they be peaceful and may they be well. Can we lay down the weapons and dialogue with love? We can do that. Mother, may we? Yes, we can. I release this prayer, knowing that I value each and every one of your hearts as stewards of peace as we walk this walk together, led by divine grace. Thank you, God. Thank you, Divine Mother. And so it is. Thank you. Well done, Judy. Thank you.
Seek peace inside you, and behold the love that surrounds you. Honor the life behind you. Embrace the life in front of you. All above and around you, beneath and beside you, create a space inside of you. Now rest yourself, 'cause you are held. Seek peace inside you, and behold the love that surrounds you. Honor the life behind you. Embrace the life in front of you. All above and around you, beneath and beside you, create a space inside of you. Rest yourself, 'cause you are held. Rest yourself, 'cause you are held, and all is well.
Am I on? Thank you, Holly. I'll get there. As I prepare to give my offering, let me have the ushers come forward first. Knew I was missing something. Thank you. As I prepare to give my offering, my heart is filled with love and appreciation, since what is offered here is for my spiritual well-being. I am filled with gratitude, knowing life stays in balance, for as I give, I receive. I give thanks for the blessed donations received in the offering this morning and during the week. I know each dollar supports the spiritual family in many ways as we grow together, pray together, and give thanks for all this center has been blessed with today and always. And so it is.
So I wanted to also thank those people that brought the good food during the week. You know who you are, so you kept feeding all of us as we were going through everything. And what's interesting is how many worked all week, and I see you here today, and you didn't fall asleep. I was watching you, and you didn't fall asleep, so I really raise and praise you. And Diana, just thank you. I could, yeah. It's not an easy responsibility to take that on. And so, and just seeing how I'm just so impressed by our board, how hard they worked. Also, they just showed up and moved and shifted things until late yesterday, until around 5. And it's exhausting, these dang chairs, moving them on this floor. Not that I'm resenting this floor by now, but I am. But I want to just leave with gratitude for that, from that and these beautiful plants outside. But I forgot to say, I wanted to hear you say, Om Mata. Om Mata. Can you do that? Om Mata. Think about your mother. Om Mata. Hand on heart. Om Mata. Om Mata. And Jai Ma. Victory to the mother. Do that with me. Jai Ma. Again, Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Yes, you may be excused after Holly's song, and then we're going to stand, as always, and sing for peace. So, Holly, thank you for being here today. Her concert starts at 11:45 or noon. Do you want to start it earlier because we'll be done at 11:30? Yeah. You want to start 11:30? Yeah. Okay, does that sound good? That'll probably annoy some people on Facebook, but everybody on Facebook, if you're watching the service and want to know, Holly's going to begin at 11:30. Hurry down, pajamas are welcome.
If everybody like to stand for God's design too. I welcome you. You guys can hold hands to this one too if you like. These eyes of mine long to behold you, present in your light divine. These eyes of mine long to behold another of God's design. These arms of mine long to embrace you and rock your troubles away. These arms of mine long to embrace another of God's design. I am you are. We are another of God's design. This heart of mine longs to adore you and loves to see you shine. This heart of mine longs to adore another of God's design. This voice of mine longs to give you the harmony within my soul. This song of mine I sing for you is another of God's designs. I am you are. We are another of God's designs. I am you are. We are another of God's designs. Another of God's designs.